CBS47 Action News Jax at noon begins with breaking news.
Two breaking news stories right now. The latest track of Tropical Storm Dorian has just come into the First Alert Weather Center. The major changes as the storm moves over the Caribbean islands.
First, a live look right now at the Jacksonville Firefighters Union Center, and that's where the family of a missing Jacksonville firefighter will give an update any moment now on the search.
Thanks for joining us, everyone, on Action News Jax at noon. I'm Phil Amato.
And I'm Dawn Lopez. We want to take a listen in.
Hold on.
Just go. Go ahead.
All right, there's so much to say, but I'm going to keep it brief. I'd like to say thank you to all of you guys here, news, media. You guys have been respectful. You've been diligent, keeping word. So thank you. I could go on and say thank yous till the end of time and wouldn't be able to thank enough people. But the U.S. Coast Guard has done an amazing effort, an amazing job. I cannot begin to thank them enough. The men and women over there poured themselves and everything they had into this, and they will continue. Although it may not be active, they are more likely to find something in their natural, regular search patterns, patrol patterns. If they found one slice of evidence, it would reactivate everything. JFRD, I can't begin to say thank you enough. They've wrapped me. I know they say that, you know, once the fire family, I have truly felt embraced by that fire family. I felt like my family has strengthened and grown infinitely. And I want them to know, I know firefighters love to fix things and make things right. They did. So all of you guys out there on boats and airplanes, everything, you did. You did everything that you needed to do. Throughout, I don't even know the amount of volunteers, the army of men and women that poured themselves into the past week. But truly, I see the hands and feet of Jesus through these men, through these women. I have never seen an outpouring. Whenever there was one more step to take, they were there, or they were already a step ahead of us. And they're still coming through, walking with us. There's no other words. I thank you. And thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I cannot give enough gratitude. We've seen the nation come together in unity here over this. Put everything else aside and do the job that was needed to be done. I just wanted to say thank you to the nation, everybody. I really don't have any more words.
I want to say thank you to the Coast Guard, JFRD, and all other federal, state, and local agencies, and the countless volunteers who worked hand in hand with them. There are no words to express our gratitude. There is no doubt in my mind that everything you did was humanly possible to find Brian and Justin, including the best technology and the best people this country has to offer. Brian was a generous and kind man. He had charisma, and he drew people in. He had that gift. I met one of his former high school classmates one time after years from their graduation, and she said to me, he was so popular and so cute when he was in high school. But she said, you know what I remember the best about him, or the most about him, is that he was kind to everyone, and everyone liked him. And that is rare. Brian was loved by JFRD, loved by his wife, his children, his parents, his grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, even his in-laws. And he was adored by his brother Kevin. From the time Brian was born, Brian was Kevin's hero. He's a hero to us in all aspects of his life, both personally and professionally. But the type of person he is what was reflected from the type of person who helped with this search. And we've witnessed from around the world a group of people who we've never seen anything like what we've seen during this very difficult time. There were big gestures from people, like donating planes and boats and fuel and money, to small gestures of the man I'll never forget, who came up with a case of water in his hand when we were at the port in the tent, and just put it down in front of us, nodded, and gave a little wave, and walked away. He was just there to help us. And then the foreign ship, merchant ship we heard about, who diverted from its route so it could also join along in the East Coast and help everyone else try to find Brian and Justin. We still have a glimmer of hope. There are still people out there looking now, including the Coast Guard and including private volunteers, and we so appreciate everything that they're doing. This experience, although tragic and heartbreaking, is a perfect representation of the power of people coming together for a common cause. Our community and beyond our community, we've seen togetherness, generosity, and kindness, all the things that Brian embodied. I will never have the appropriate words to say thank you to the thousands of people who searched for my son and the millions of prayers for my son. I have no words, and I will never know all of you, but I am in debt to all of you forever. Thank you.
Family and friends, there is so much to be said that I will inevitably come up short of what should be stated today. First and foremost, on behalf of myself and friends and family who could not be here, I would like to extend the most sincere thanks to the millions of you who provided your kindness and action in the search for my brother Brian and our friend Justin. The massive rescue effort that involves so many good people is the finest testament to Brian and Justin I could imagine. The tireless work put forth by so many federal, state, and local agencies, combined with coordinated efforts of thousands of aviators and mariners who had never met Brian, Justin, or our friends or family, is a shining example of what humanity can do when our differences are put aside to work together for a common goal. Throughout the search, I have been awed by what has been given, from the thousands of anonymous people donating fuel for the search, to the people who, when offered this fuel, refused to accept it, as they bravely took to the seas and to the skies and searched for two amazing men. It should remind us all that there is more to our times than one tragedy following the next. Even among loss, we find kindness, bravery, and the bonds of life that tie us together when we are tempted to feel the most alone. I'd like to extend my gratitude to Justin's family for sharing him with the world. 6 weeks ago, when Brian and I were grappling with the recent loss of our father and heading for a dark place, Justin was quick to provide compassionate yet decisive help for us in our time of great sadness. Justin knew what duty meant, and it is a great comfort for me that Brian had such a fine individual to help him shoulder his burdens. It is my belief as well that Brian was strong for Justin. My brother could always put at ease the people around him, even if he wasn't saying anything. His mere presence, with its confidence, sincere kindness, and easy sense of humor, was a comfort that my friends and family are lucky to have shared. It is impossible to summarize a lifetime of brotherhood here, but I will say that as brothers go, Brian was the best. And I'm lucky to have shared my life with him as long as I have. In his absence, too, I have found family and friends in unexpected places. In particular, the Jacksonville Fire and Rescue Department has honored my family by joining it. Their bravery kindness, and diligent work has been a gleam of light that my family so badly needed. Unfortunately, I do not have a complete list of agencies whose bravery and dedication provide my family with the comfort that no effort was spared, no stone was left unturned during the search. My admiration for the U.S. Coast Guard and partner agencies during this search will never cease. And I cannot ever fully thank either the individual agencies or countless brave people who, on their own time, gave so much to the search for Justin and Brian. I would also like to thank the numerous media outlets who have been so kind and so professional throughout the ordeal. You've been instrumental in spreading the word and unifying so many diverse people toward a common effort. In the coming times, it will be difficult to move forward among such a loss. It is critical to remember that during these times that friends and family will be strong for us when we falter, and to reach for help when needed. As Brian and Justin were there for us, when we needed them, we need to follow their examples and hold one another together moving forward. And it will not be easy, but we have good examples to follow. The kindness of bravery and Justin are the lights we should use to hold us together in dark times. Thank you, everyone, and please remember, take care of yourselves as well.
We'll take a few questions at this time.
We've seen how strong you guys have all been through all this. How are you balancing hope with your grief?
That's probably the most difficult thing.
It is. I mean, I believe in a God of miracles. You know that. He's parted waters, he's had seas. Then I also have 2 children to think about that I need to give them some answers. So I will always have a hope. My hope lies in Jesus. My hope lies in, I know that there will be reunion, whether it is here or whether it is in eternity. But this is a brief moment. Eternity is forever.
And there's, sorry.
You're good.
Also, the example my father and brother and Justin all gave is duty. We have work to do, and that is where we need to focus. A lot to do.
Ms. Carla, you talked about how a high school friend remembered how kind your son was.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind telling us what you remember about his decision to become a firefighter? After all, a job that demands compassion from deep in the heart and the ability to save lives and go out and just help humanity day in, day out. Can you relay those memories to us?
Yes, he had been he was a hospital corpsman and joined the Navy and was in Fallujah with the Marines, and then went back as a medevac helicopter on his second deployment. So the fire department seemed like such a good fit for him because he missed, when he left the Navy, he missed that brotherhood of soldiers, of sailors, I shouldn't say soldiers. So I thought he was making the best decision because my husband and I always told our sons, you need to find something to do with your life that will make you happy and make you feel fulfilled. And so we were very proud of him when he made that decision.
You all have really touched our
Brian
lives.
McClooney's family holding a news conference thanking the Coast Guard, JFRD, volunteers, and the media in the search of the 2 missing firefighters. You heard from Brian McClooney's wife, Stephanie, thanking the Coast Guard, of course, JFRD, and really being embraced by the firefighter family. Firefighters, she said, made this right for them, did everything that they could do to try to find those 2 missing firefighters. She says it's not over yet, though. They are continuing their search. Also talking, the mom, Carla, as well as Kevin McClooney, all thanking everyone who helped out in that search.
And what definitely hits you in the heart is that wife, Stephanie, who says that they have 2 children to think about, so she'll always remain hopeful. And again, that family thanking all of the volunteers and all of you for watching and hoping and praying right along with them. Well, now there is a fundraiser today to help pay for volunteers to continue searching for these 2 missing men, these fathers, these husbands. Firehouse Subs will donate 10% of all proceeds between 5 and 9 today for this search effort. All locations, we're told, in Northeast Florida will participate. And stay right here with Action News Jax for continuing coverage of the search for Brian McClooney and Justin Walker, who's a firefighter from Virginia, and his friend. And you can download the Action News Jax mobile app for updates right to the palm of your hand.
We're following more breaking news. Within the last 90 minutes, the First Alert weather team got the latest track for Tropical Storm Dorian. I'm joined by First Alert meteorologist Corey Simon in the First Alert Weather Center. And Corey, this is a fast-moving storm, and it looks like it may turn into a hurricane tomorrow.
As it moves into the Caribbean Sea, so we're keeping a close eye on it because interests in Florida definitely going to want to know what Dorian does. We also have Invest 98L. It's off our coast, it's moving away from us, and it's not really a concern of ours. But here is that new track for Dorian. Winds up to 60 miles per hour, so just under hurricane strength, expected to become a hurricane late Tuesday or early on Wednesday. It is then going to move up to Hispaniola, potentially Puerto Rico as well, and that land interaction is going to significantly impact what Dorian does beyond that. The updated track, this is the major change. It keeps it tropical storm strength as it tracks to the Bahamas and approaching South Florida. That's why we're keeping a very close eye on it, because it may have an impact on your Labor Day holiday plans. Here's our Riverside First Alert Skycam network. Those puffy white clouds starting to build up. But I'm going to show you why there's not going to be much rain in your neighborhood today, when that rain threat picks up in the First Alert 7-day forecast.
This noon, you're looking live at the Landing. 1 year since a mass shooting that killed 2 and injured 12 other people. Since then, the city took ownership of that decaying landmark and will tear it down by the end of the year. Action News Jack's Ben Becker is live at the Landing right now. Ben, the city not planning any memorials today, we're told.
Phil, that's right. I'm here outside the Landing. Matter of fact, outside the Chicago Pizza, where that shooting took place exactly 1 year ago. And there's not a memorial. There's not a plaque here to remember those people who were shot and killed. Only a cold, hard steel fence to keep people out. Now, again, that shooting happened 1 year ago today, August the 26th, at about 1:30 in the afternoon, when a lone gunman opened fire at a video game tournament, killing 2 and injuring 12. It was the latest violent incident here at this once proud landmark. Today, Action News Jax pressed Mayor Lenny Curry about why the city's not remembering the victims, but he did not give a direct answer to our questions.
It was a day that demonstrated the worst of humanity and the best of our public safety workers, and it's a day that was a bad day.
So I reached out to the city again to get a straight answer from the mayor, and hopefully they will get back to me and let me know. Now, ahead at 5, what loved ones are saying about this day, and ahead at 6, new documents revealed today about the shooter in this and what his motivations may have been, a little bit different than what we've been told. Again, that's coming up at 6. So reporting live downtown, Ben Becker, CBS47, Action News Jax.
New this noon, the Duval County School Board is debating how to move forward, trying to pay to fix our old schools. Action News Jax Elizabeth Pace joins us live right now on the South Bank. Elizabeth, there is a new proposal to share funds with charter schools.
And this is actually the first time the DCPS school board is talking about sharing money with their charter schools. That meeting just ended here inside their administration building about 20 minutes ago. And some of their board members wanted to be clear, this is not part of their master plan, but it is another option to start repairs on their aging school buildings. Now, right now, we know there are more than 30 charter schools partnered with DCPS. The bulk of those schools are less than 10 years old, which means 120 of DCPS schools are actually older than the oldest charter school. Dr. Diana Green's new proposal, she showed us how most charter schools are actually receiving more funding than public school buildings. And based on need, she recommends allocating a portion of the charter school funds to pay for building repairs. It's actually a concept 2 other Florida school districts currently have in place right now. Now, just at the very end of this meeting today, the school board members voted on this, and they actually approved it to move on to City Council for their meeting tomorrow, but they're still prepping for that right now. So coming up, we'll show you what they have planned for that City Council meeting tomorrow ahead of 5. Reporting live on the South Bank, Elizabeth Pace, CBS 47, Action News Jax.
Now, 12 certified. Jacksonville's most accurate weather forecast. Action News Jax First Alert Weather.
Well, we're tracking the tropics here in the First Alert Weather Center. You just saw the new track from Dorian a couple minutes ago. These are the spaghetti plots, the models, some of them ensembles, and a lot of different scenarios in pretty good agreement as it moves into the Northeast Caribbean and becomes a hurricane around this time as well, late Tuesday and early Wednesday. Those solutions kind of diverge a little bit, or they start spreading out here a little bit as we get into later this week, Thursday and Friday. But a lot of the opinions right now have it moving over the eastern Dominican Republic. The terrain of Hispaniola going to have an impact on what Dorian does beyond that. And you see the lines even farther, bringing it very close to Florida. Folks, you got to be careful what you see on social media and other media outlets today. There's a lot of uncertainty as where Dorian is going to go after it moves past Hispaniola. The strength, the strength as well is going to be significantly impacted by Hispaniola and the shear. Where you see the bright coloring here, that's where that wind shear is higher. Shear, it acts to tear apart a tropical system. So this may actually help us out in regards to weakening Dorian as it moves up to the Bahamas. But still, a lot of uncertainty. The local impacts are not known at this time. It's just too early for us to know what impact it's going to have on Florida. It approaches the Lesser Antilles today, and it is expected to become a hurricane by Wednesday. We're keeping a very close eye on it. You're looking at St. Augustine here on the First Alert Skycam Network. It is a hot afternoon already, and a lot of sunshine too there in the ancient city. Temperatures around 90 this afternoon. We'll stay just below it with a little bit of cloud cover, and it's going to stay warm through the evening commute with not much rain. There will be a couple isolated showers as that sea breeze moves in, but we still have that onshore wind, east-northeasterly 10 to 15 knots, and those seas 3 to 5 feet. So the sea's still pretty rough out there. That rip current risk still moderate today. Here's that sea breeze as it moves inland. That shower threat, it'll be enhanced well inland for the evening commute, so I-95 looking okay. Then this evening and tonight, a line of showers trying to push toward I-95. I think they are going to weaken as they move to the coast, but your opportunity for rain, if you live up and down 301, there will be some heavy rain tonight. Afternoon storms on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, same story. Those temperatures getting hot again all the way through Thursday and Friday. Your weekend, which is always in view, a rain threat going down just a little bit. Remember, you can download the Action News Jax First Alert Weather app by going to our website, actionnewsjax.com, and Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish in today at 5 p.m. for the latest on the tropics.
All new at noon, the most magical renovation. Coming up, we'll show you the plans for one of Disney's most iconic theme parks.
What to watch, brought to you by Ashley Home Store.
Well, Jacksonville has secured funding to create this new 30-mile urban trail here right through the city.
That's right. Action News Jack's Brittany Donovan shows us how one business owner says it will help families and local businesses.
Right now we're on the S line, which will connect to the Emerald Trail, and it gives you an idea of what it'll look like. It's totally separate from the road, and no motor vehicles are allowed, which means more safety for bicyclists and families.
Feet away from the S line is Tyresha Moore's business, T-Posh Naturals.
And I do see quite a few people that use the bike trail, including myself. I usually make runs and, exercise and make my daily walks.
She, along with city leaders, are hoping to see even more people on the trail as it expands into more than a dozen neighborhoods in the urban core. These pictures show how the 30-mile-long Emerald Trail will link 20 schools and colleges to dozens of parks. On Monday, Groundwork Jacksonville said new corporate sponsors have helped it raise the first $1 million that will go toward groundbreaking. Moore tells me it can draw more people to businesses along the route. But one of the biggest benefits, safety.
It's much safer on the bike trail than the main road.
Here on this part of the S line, we did find some trash and other litter, and we weren't able to find any lights in this area. Ahead at 5, the security measures that local business owner tells me she wants to see to make sure this trail is a success. Reporting in Duval County, Brittany Donovan, CBS47, Action News Jax.
Disney just released plans to reinvent Epcot. The company wants the new upgrades to be the largest transformation of a park in Disney's history. Among the renderings we found, we have Guardians of the Galaxy ride, Moana experience, a Mary Poppins attraction, and an overhaul to the iconic spaceship Earth ride. Marvel is also expected to play a bigger role in Disney theme parks. No word on when the renovations will be all complete.
And we're keeping a close eye on the tropics. Tropical storm Dorian approaching the Lesser Antilles and the Caribbean Sea later today, when it's expected to become a hurricane tomorrow. In the meantime, some afternoon showers and storms well inland. It's going to be hot this afternoon, and then afternoon storms again tomorrow on Tuesday.
All right, we'll be watching Dorian
very close.
A couple of days, if not longer. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
More tonight at 5. Y&R is on next.